heart. The other day I was working on this song, and in the heart of the song is really dealing with our transparency with each other. It started really when I was reading this scripture context about how when Jesus has now risen back from what we would consider risen back from the dead, and now is making himself known unto his disciples. There was one of his disciples specifically that said that basically he didn't believe that he was coming back, and we call him Doubting Thomas. But when he came back and he walked in, the Bible says he walked into the room and he came to Thomas. The first thing that he did to Thomas was allow Thomas to be able to put his hands, his fingers in the nail prints or the scars in his hands, as well as to put his hands in the scars or the open wounds, as you would think, of Jesus' side. And one of the things that I realized and I saw with that, to me, was very, very powerful. Now, we understood the context that Jesus was doing this to Thomas, to allow Thomas to be able to believe that he was risen back from the dead, believe that he has done what he said he was going to do, believe that he is still who he said he was. And all of those in that context is true, but it also helped me to realize something that I think is very powerful, is looking at Jesus' transparency. Jesus was so transparent in allowing someone that it was close to him to be able to take the time to put their hands in the very wounds and the scars that he had been healed from, to be able to allow this person to be able to be ministered to be able to come to a place where he would believe. So the question that I started to ask myself is, with those that God has placed in my life, those that God has placed close to me for the opportunity to either minister to or just, be a friend to, or just to help to develop in their walk with God, or whatever that might be, am I doing what Jesus did in being transparent? And allowing them to be able to see, hey, these are some of the scars. These are some of the things that I have been through. These are some of the things that I'm dealing with today. These are some of the things that I am going through, so that they can get to a place where they can believe. Now, believe what is the question? Not just believe in God. Now, a lot of times we lose either generations or we lose people because we make it seem like we have it all together, that we don't have any wounds, we don't have any scars, we don't have anything that can be able to be revealed or showed unto people. But I believe in this picture, what Jesus is saying and showing us is, listen, there are moments in our lives where we have to be transparent and show people, listen, I was hurt here, but this is how I was able to walk out of this. This is how I was able to make it. This is how I was able to overcome. But let me allow you to see the scar. Let me allow you to see the place and see the wounds and see the things that I have made it through, so that you can be able to believe that it is possible. See, a lot of times, a lot of people, and some people, can't believe that it's possible, not because God is not able to do it, but it's because we are not being open enough to say and to show them that it's possible for God to be able to do it. See, we understand in reference to our walk with God and the things that we do with God, that all things are possible to them that believe. Now, the question is, again, it's to them that believe. But what about the person that doesn't believe? What about the person that has been through storms and tests and they do not believe? They don't believe in God, or they don't believe that God can do it. How are they going to get to a place and to a position where they will believe? I believe that one of the ways that they are going to be able to believe is when God uses someone like you, someone like me, to take the time and allow people to see in our scars. But now, this is the victory. The only way I know that you are healed from your scars is that you can show it to someone else. See, a lot of times the reason why we can't show it or even talk about it is because we are not healed. we still have open wounds, open scars, open situations, open circumstances, things that we have not dealt with, places in our lives where we have not been healed from. We still are carrying the open scar, the open wound, and it's still, some of it sometimes is infected because we have allowed it to last as long as it has. And now over time, it has been in a place where, because it's an open wound, there's nothing that has happened in that moment that you have allowed God to be able to heal it. So it's an open infection, an open wound where the enemy has been playing on that very scar. But we know when we are healed. We know when we have overcome. See, the Bible does say that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. But you cannot say that you have overcome. You cannot say that you are healed if you cannot testify of that healing. So today, take the time and be transparent. Take the time and allow someone that is close to you to be able to see how God healed you of that wound. And I promise you, God will use that to help someone to believe. God will use that to help someone come to know who he is. God bless you, family. We're going to continue this together. We're walking this out together. We're not perfect, but we always understand that we serve a perfect God that is able to do exactly what he said he will do. Be blessed.